Hello everyone. Nowadays, email service is essential to office work, and we do know that you are all annoyed by spam mails like every day. Don't really want to receive a bunch of advertisements. So today I'm going to introduce anti-spam function. Let's go with basic setting first. In anti-spam setting, there are two engines for admin to choose to filter all the mails: Spam Assassin and RSpamD. Spam Assassin consumes less system resource, though RSpamD has better protection and shorter scanning time. Also support spam mail running sharing and EDN newsletter. By the way, Spam Assassin will be removed in future version, so I suggest you guys use RSpamD as your anti-spam engine. What is spam mail running sharing? It is a function you can share the signature of spam mail to cloud database. So every ShareTech mail server can share the signature resource to filter mails more precisely. If you enable EDN newsletter in anti-spam, mails will be filtered through RSpamD engine, and there are three types of process after mails being identified: EDN, release to recipients, and add text on subject to remind user. And the last one, quarantine. So the EDN mails will go to quarantine zone. Furthermore, you can set up which mail accounts apply to the process or not, in case users might be want to receive EDN or users don't want text on their subject. And we provide three ways to deal with spam mail: rename, quarantine, and delete. After going through the spam engine, mails will be scored. Take this example. If the score is more than 8, the mail will be add text on the subject. Score more than 10, the mail will be put in quarantine zone. You can go to quarantine zone to check those spam mails, and if the score is more than 15, the mail will be deleted and put into the delete zone. So administrators are able to define the score according to how spam engine works in their mail receiving. If there are many mails from customers or partners scored more than 8, then you might just adjust the score to higher. So for fear of missing mails from important business partner, you can set up their source IP address right here. Then mails from this IP address will skip anti-spam filter. To avoid missing important mails, we provide notice mail function to help users confirm if their mails are identified spam. Then users can take back them or classify them as blacklist or whitelist. So first, set up the list link. Type in external IP address or domain name right here for your mail server. And in user spam list, admin can define the sending time. So take list for example. Users will receive a list containing spam mails which were put into quarantine zone before 12 o'clock. And at 8 o'clock in the morning, users will receive another list containing spam mails between this period from 12 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And you can define your own list subject to remind the user to check this spam list. Also, set up which account doesn't want to receive this spam list. And there is another list for admin. What's the difference is that this spam list for admin will contain all spam mails during the time for admin to audit if this mail could be released to the users. So right here, you can select which account to receive this admin spam list. And let me explain what is spam mail learning. In spam learning setting, you have to create blacklist and whitelist accounts in the mail server. And if user receive a spam mail in the mailbox or find out a normal mail which is being identified spam, then they can send this kind of error mail to the blacklist and whitelist learning accounts. System imports these mails into spam engine every hour to reach the signature database. So the effects of engine filter will be getting better and better since it's learning. And please do not assign learning accounts to user, because after learning, letters will be deleted automatically. Okay, so let's talk about spam mail protection. In Greylist function, mail sent by first-time sender will be refused. But if sender's mail server resends mail after time delay, which is 15 seconds as default, mail server will receive the mail and accounts will be accepted by Greylist database. Thereafter, mail from this sender will not be blocked anymore. So you can set up execution time and which sender account is in whitelist. Also, we support PTR check in the mail server. If sender source IP address doesn't apply PTR setting from ISP, it will be blocked by PTR check. And there are 3 processes for those kind of mails. Delete it directly and go to correcting wrong and add spam score. And of course, we support SPF check. In SPF check, mail server will check the TXT record in sender domain. So how mail server process mails depends on which SPF validation is resolved. So take this for example. If it was passed, then the mail will not be handled. If it was so fail, then the mail will be add spam score for 3 points and will be add text on subject as well. So the administrators can define what actions on their own. In reply and verify abnormal sender settings, if you enable reply and verify, mail server will check whether the sender of the sender IP is the first time to send. If so, the mail will be add text on subjects like this to tell user to be careful because it's suspicious in a reply mail. If you enable DKIM check, the mail server will tag the domain private key in mail header to validate the public key in DNS.txt record. And if the result was passed, then the mail will not be handled. And if the mail may be risky, then we would add some spam score for 5 points and add text on the subject. So the process will be like the SPF check. So for DMARC check, please note that you must enable SPF and DKIM check in advance. Then mail server will process this mail following the sending domain owner policy. And you can set up DMARC reports down below in this setting. So as long as you have enabled DKIM check, and you can create DKIM public key for your domain right here, and please add it to your DNS as TXT record to activate the domain key. And at the bottom, there are some whitelist function. So if there are some senders who don't pass through SPF or DKIM DMARC check, but they are business partner, then you can add them in exception so that their mail won't be blocked by mail server. Also, you can create a IP address right here, so you can make mails from this IP address go through mail server without above protections. So we support many functions in anti-spam, and we let administrators use those functions in flexible way because of various conditions. And I hope you guys can solve spam problem by using ShareTech mail server. Thank you for your watching.